event, right? So we are the Raising Canes, which any of those fundraisers will list them just because of we want to do media, um, social media blurbs out for that. To create excitement about it. We want to send emails to all of our donors, all of our supporters. Hey, come out, have a great meal, and support us. March, same thing. The Shamrock St. Patrick's Parade really is another one of those fundraising things. You just blurb, donations for candy, but that's easy. So your very first real event is the car show. So the strategic planning begins with the car show. Besides the t-shirts, need to know. Were you able to reach out to them to ask them exactly how involved they want you to be?
When it comes to the car show,
Mm-hmm.
so from what I understood after talking to you,
Mm-hmm.
is that they're actually just giving us a lot of advice and we're doing it all ourselves.
Oh, Jesus, they're not doing it for you?
Mm-mm.
Why was that? They
well,
always host these events.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
They always host them and they do the proceeds to whoever they're helping.
I guess that was just...
How was it brought up to them?
And I was just about to say, I think that was just ignorance on our part.
Yikes.
Not knowing that.
Yikes, that's in June.
And so, but Angela was saying that she's got another meeting with the other car club. I can't remember which one it is. And I asked her, do you think we can talk to them about them helping us with it?
Why is she
Instead
going
of
with
just...
two different car shows if she's already asked?
Well,
one?
it's the Corvette club, and then it's the larger club that kind of everything else operates underneath.
Okay.
And so, but it's the main umbrella.
I've
I can't
never
remember
known them not to do it themselves and donate.
Really?
I've never known them not to do that.
Okay.
That was my experience with them.
Okay. And so, and that's one thing that I mentioned to her, do you think that, we can ask them to help whenever we meet with them? And she was like, yeah, don't see why not. I think that was just not something that was understood, that's how they actually operate from time to time.
Okay. And where is this car show going to be
at? Hands at Grace Church.
Okay. Where's at Grace Church. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. She also needs to reach out to, just because I'm not stepping toes on it this year, this is already hers, so she can run with it. She can call me if she needs guidance on it. That Van Boris,
she's talked
Kevin
to him.
Van Boris.
She talked to him.
Is he going to be a part of it?
From her understanding, he is probably going to register his cars.
No, he's got a whole car fleet. Okay.
I don't think you're going to be stepping on toes if you get your hands dirty.
You got, with Angela's new to the whole, more of the professional outreach type thing. She's a great fundraiser. I mean, you send her out, talk to people, she'll get you money. But she's not had a lot of experience on any corporate levels and things like that, I think is one of the things.
At all.
And I mean, she's just...
But are you sure she's going to be okay with it? I got the impression that she feels like I'm stepping on her toes.
Really?
Yes.
When?
Just from...
When we were at lunch?
Yeah, from lunch, and then afterwards, this little thing she did on LinkedIn and stuff like that. I'm like, okay.
What thing on
LinkedIn?
LinkedIn?
So, she posted in LinkedIn, she did her social media director position and put the outline of all the stuff she was guiding, and then a few minutes later put promoted, and she did her public something. Let me look. So I was like, oh, okay. So I backed off.
Maybe because she doesn't know how.
You need to, it's very important. You need to put a stop to it. Because...
Can you take a screenshot and show
Sure,
me?
that's what I'm looking at it right now. Let me see what she posted. What's her last name?
This is one of the things, Jessica, we talked about, the people coming into this have not had experience, on a corporate level of this kind of thing, or, because basically what we're doing now, we've stepped up into corporate operations, even though we're a nonprofit. It doesn't mean we don't have to operate. And
Mhm.
people, we've got a lot of people who are not accustomed to that.
Well, that's why we
Yeah.
got rid of several
Yeah.
titles, because I'm just like, okay, here's the thing: is that I am putting you in a position of failing miserably if you go in to these corporate offices or corporate organizations with that title on your resume. You're going to be set up for failure because you don't have the
Yes.
training that it takes to actually carry out that.
Yeah, that's,
Title.
that's
So
the
then
thing.
you didn't give her the title.
No.
See, this is what I have a problem with. Because LinkedIn is not the place to play. LinkedIn is where
Serious.
every business is.
It's, yeah.
Everybody who's anybody is in LinkedIn. And so what goes with your name on it is super important to,
That's-
it looked bad, it did. Because she literally like 10, 15 minutes later, she put promoted too. And what's her last name?
Montanez.
Is it Angela?
Mhm.
M-O-N?
T-A-N-E-Z.
T-A-N-E-Z.
Yeah, M-O-N.
There she is.
A-T-E-Z.
T-A-N-E-Z.
No, it's not.
Montanez. Is that her name?
I just had the brain fart.
Let me look.
Not you, no way, not allowed, no, oh no, that's my apartment.
Let me try healing through him instead.
That's one of the things about social media that is really, really a little scary when you're starting.
Yes.
Because people can say anything they want to say.
I
and
know.
They have no compunction about what they're saying or any
People
idea.
believe everything they read, so it's both
It's
ways, it works
hard.
both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, where is
I get in
it?
trouble because I don't get on Facebook enough.
Because you what?
I don't get on, this week I am, but I get in trouble because I don't get on Facebook enough. I miss things. And I don't need to, it's just I've had issues with Facebook in my personal life that I have to watch out for. And so actually, I think he was on the other day. So.
Oh, and I'm sorry. I'm thinking the wrong person. Stephanie Fansway. That's who I'm thinking. Not Angela.
Okay.
Stephanie Fansway, she put, Stephanie started a new position as social media director of Healing Through Him Ministries. Promoted to public speaker. A fashion story. So
Wow.
That's her business.
this is, yes. So be very careful
So,
with that, and people do
well,
not need to be putting, the only one that should be in Healing Through Him are you and Courtney.
Wow, public speaker.
Because you are the only contacts for the organization until I come on board. So it does not need to be anybody else,
Thank you.
especially because it's not a paid position. So I think that's why she feels a little more freely, is because she's volunteering, but it needs to say volunteer.
Yeah, you saw the public speaking bit at the kickoff, but that was the only
No.
time that
And-
she's ever.
I need to work with her on that. It was extremely long, and she lost people. It needs to be a little bit more worked, because the girls around me, yeah, it was long.
Yeah.
It was long. She has a great
Good.
focus,
Yeah.
but it needs to be, especially when you're in a meeting that lasts all day. It's got to be quick, points, fun, go, move.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of explaining, which is common sense. Everybody knows how to dress, you know. So it just needed to be way shorter, and to the point. Okay, so you might want to ask her to delete that.
Okay.
That way, not to upscale it to anything else, not to put volunteer. She needs to delete that and have her hold off on doing anything with Healing Through Him until we've set up the ladder where it needs to go. Because really, she does not need to be on LinkedIn. She is not on the board, and she is not an executive. So she does not need to put, because that's what LinkedIn is. It is the contacts for the organizations.
So that needs to be Lindy, right?
Whoever the contact, I would say you and Jessica and me whenever I can become officially the development director.
Can we do that today? So Jessica knows me well enough to know, I have over 20 years working in nonprofits, my profession working in
Yes.
nonprofits.
Okay, so tell me if I'm being I'm a little more
No,
modern.
On the same page I've been
Are
getting
you
them on for-
okay? Because I'm like, this is making me very nervous.
No.
Very nervous. I don't have personal relations with any of my donors, nor will I ever have personal relationships with any of my donors. There's boundaries you have to have with what we do. And the situation with her and Desiree and Randolph really made me nervous. So there's just a lot of red flags for me there.
With her specifically,
Yes,
or
yes,
healing through them?
because I mean, and that I'm strictly professional. It is never professional for me to have a personal relationship with my boss. Never. I don't care how good we're friends we are. It is not okay to do that. So, and there's a lot of boundaries that were stepped on that. And so now it's he said, she said. It made me nervous. I don't know. It just made me nervous. They're heavy hitters. They're heavy hitters. They have a lot of money. She just got on the board of Don Harrington. Yeah, so they're heavy hitters. I know if I asked him for a $25,000 check, he would have given it to me. That's what kind of donors they are. I don't care about the personal life. I don't care what you do in your own time. I care about you professionally. And so we just don't cross those lines. So I don't know. Just you have to be very careful who you have doing what things are being done for the organization. It cannot just be anybody who volunteers. It can't. Because of things like this. Michael is very big with Atmos Energy on LinkedIn. And he is very big on, they look at the profiles. They do. Exo Energy looks at the profiles. Any foundation looks at the profiles. So that's why they have you put your Twitter and your URL for your LinkedIn on all the grants that they require, because they look at you. So you don't ever want anything that is not professional on Facebook, in any type of writing that you have promoted out, and especially not LinkedIn. I don't know. I just got a feeling like she would get pissed about if I took over the car show. It's a phone call for me. It's a phone call to say, hey, I know you're working with Healing Through Him. Can you, I'm not sure what happened.
So you were thinking that Stephanie is in charge of the car show.
Yes.
It's Angela.
Which
That's
one's
been
Angela?
heading
I'm
that
getting
up.
confused.
So Stephanie is the one that had the complaint about
Yes,
your
Randolph and
associates.
Desiree.
And so Angela is the one that's been heading up the car show. She's the one that made all the connections.
Okay. And does she have a personal connection with the people in the car shows?
Not
So
personal.
it was just a,
It's
it was
just
just a
strictly-
phone call.
yeah.
This girl is just, this is the thing about Nancy, if we can get her trained up and she can learn, and she wants to learn. She's marvelous, she really is, and she can talk
Awesome.
the devil out of pennies for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I
she
think
can.
I am
Angela's
all
very-
about
She's not-
training because I have 8 years in this business left and I'm out.
Yeah.
So I think Angela is very eager to learn. I mean, she was
Awesome.
actually excited about meeting you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
I
don't think
think
Angela is going to get offended if you
No.
Perfect.
step in and
Okay.
help.
Because for me, it would be a phone call and just say, hey, I'm not sure what actually happened or what went on. We have a lot of volunteers and I apologize. But this is what we need from you. Can you do the car show for us and benefit Healing Through Him? That's how it needs to be.
Yeah.
Because we don't know enough about a car show. I've
No.
never had to run a car show, ever. They've just always donated to me.
Yeah.
They did it through the March of Dimes. They do it through United Way. They do it through Miracle Network. They just donate.
Hmm.
No one's ever had to do the car show themselves. Now, I don't know if it's because, I don't know if they have a contract because every car show has been held at the Civic Center. I don't know if that's part of their contract with the city, that they do that.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of little, in between the lines things. But I can find out. And if that's the case, do you have Any objection to having it at the Civic Center?
To having it where? At the what
Civic Center? That's where all the car shows are.
Yeah,
Does the flyers say where it's at? The flyers came in today.
I think
Oh,
that's
did
like,
they?
I think
Yeah,
it's,
I'm sure they
that,
do.
That was $100.
that's our grade.
I mean, if
I didn't know the address was on that. The car show flyers are 2.
if I remember correctly, it is.
Yeah.
And so we just,
But,
yeah,
I mean,
maybe
it
we have
was-
to eat that.
Yeah, I was about to
hate
say.
that
I
either,
mean, but
Yeah.
if we can have it indoors, then that's going to maximize.
And I am very surprised that they would agree to do it June 7th. Because if I'm not mistaken, Miracle Network car show is that same time.
Well, that was actually chosen with working with
With them?
one of the car clubs, and
Was
they-
it the
and
Corvette
they
Car
would
Club
agree.
or was it the main car club?
I can't remember.
Let me see.
I want to
'cause
say
I'm
that it was the main one.
I'm almost certain they have theirs in June. It's a Miracle Network.
But June 7th was chosen with them while they were looking at their calendar.
25.
Because the only thing going on that weekend,
Oh, it's July. Okay. July
Okay.
26th.
So,
Saturday,
yeah.
July 26th. I don't know why I thought it was June. Okay. Okay, so let me make a phone call on that and see if they can just take care of it for us. And if not, then let me call Kevin and just be like, we don't know how to do a car show. Can you please do the one for us and just donate the proceeds? I'm sure I can convince him. He has a lot of guys because he has a car racing little venue thing that he does.
Mhm.
So it's anybody who has anything. I did a Jeep one with him at Contagion
Mhm.
for March of Dimes. But that's too many chiefs, not enough Indians. So we need to go with somebody and stay with them. The Corvette Car Club always partners with somebody else. Always. They always do that. So
Mhm.
that's not a big deal. But I think Kevin's more of a I want to take over kind of guy.
Mhm.
So let me find out who she's working with on this car show. Let me make a phone call and then I can tell you
Okay.
how that will work out. Because I'm pretty sure I can talk to the guys to be like, so, benefit. If it wasn't said, let me tell you, benefit. So anytime you ask for anything like that, can you benefit healing through him?
Mhm.
Because otherwise
Okay.
they're going to be like, oh yeah, we can go to your car show. I'm like, no, it's not my car show. We need a benefit.
Mhm.
Okay, so let me write myself a note to call them. Okay, and then we have July. So Canyon 4th of July parade, same thing. Team meetings and nothing in July, nothing in August. So basically we just need to get small sponsorships coming in to help with the team meetings and these kind of things. Like the parade, the Christmas parade, the lights parade, all that kind of things. We just need to get a small $2,500 sponsor to do all of our events.
Okay.
Or even a $3,500 sponsor for that. And then it covers us all year for all the parades.
Mhm.
And we'll just put a logo saying sponsored by.
Yeah.
September parade again.
September, that's the one for the tri-state, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
Tri-State Parade. And then the gala. Did you talk to the board about the gala?
Not yet. I mean, it was.
Yeah,
I mean,
May
we
28th,
talked
and
about
that's
the dates,
graduation. There's no way.
But yeah, we didn't talk
There's
about
no
anything
way.
else beyond that. Because I wasn't sure where we stood on it. Since
Yeah, because when
Your
you said
friend.
March 20th, I was like, May 20th, I was like, okay, and I'm like, no, graduations.
Mhm.
We won't have anybody show up. Yeah.
Well, and it ties in so well to the Domestic Violence Month, and our anniversary is in October there, so.
Yeah, the only thing that I didn't like about October is that you're competing with the Don Harrington Monster Bash. You're
Okay.
competing with Dove Creek Equine Rescue. You're competing with the Nutcracker. You're
Okay.
competing with a symphony. They have literally, there was 6 events during the same time frame last year.
Okay.
So there's no way you're going to be able to raise what you want to raise.
Yeah.
No way. Because Dove Creek brings in $185,000.
Yeah.
This symphony brings in over $350,000. Then you're talking about the Nutcracker Ball, which brings in another $350,000, and then the ball brings in $160,000. So there's no way. That's all your heavy hitters right there. So it's not.
Yeah.
I know it ties into everything, but money wise, they've been established too long.
Yeah.
Too long
That's
for us
what
to
I was wondering.
compete.
That's what I don't know, obviously, because I'm
Yeah.
not from here. So.
So my question is, how imperative is it for Cindy to be there? I mean, because she's really the only one that wouldn't be able to be there because of her sabbatical.
I mean, if you're talking one, how many board members do you have?
Only 5.
Okay. I don't think one. Is Pastor Bill going with her?
Well, yeah, they always
Okay,
go
they go
together.
together.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
They always travel together for those 3 months.
How much did they donate last year? Do you remember?
Bill and Cindy?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember she pays consistently at least $200 a month, and then they have little extras here and there upon events.
Okay.
And then she offers her time, and then as well she's always talking about it at women's Bible study, and then she also buys a lot of housewares and stuff like that for the
Okay.
ladies.
So we're not talking $5,000 a night of.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Then we're okay with that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We're okay with that. What day were we thinking again?
The original date was October what?
18.
18.
And then
But that's not gonna work. I mean, we gotta face facts about what we're gonna be able to raise and not raise. If
Yeah.
we get in
So,
September
but
and get ahead of them, it might
the-
be right.
what was
I think it's
what was the other date that she was talking about in June? Was it the week after
I think it was
the car show?
June 20.
Oh, God.
Let me look, 'cause I have it on my text to you. And she will have those shirts ready for you by our deadline.
Okay, great.
As long as I can get that vector this week.
Okay.
Let's see.
We were looking at the 21st or the 20. Oh no, that was. Never mind. I need to go back further.
Let me see what the September event calendar looks like.
Didn't seem like there was a whole lot last year when we were looking at things, a little bit that I could find. Like I said, I'm new to Amarillo, so I'm not up on what everybody does here.
And you also have to look at things like who is the Civic Center bringing in or anything, because that will hinder your attendance as well. Let's see. So September.
Like, would the fair affect anything? The fair being in September?
I wouldn't think that gala style people would go to fairs.
They do, because they go to the rodeo.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know, because we go to the rodeo. We are there every day.
Oh, good. Somebody who
Gotcha.
gets it.
Yeah, like we're there every day.
I was with the Tucson Rodeo for over 20 years, so.
I love it. I mean, Mario, with his job, he delivers to all the ranchers and
Oh,
stuff,
there you
so
go.
we know everybody,
Right.
and so we go and support. Okay, Style for Success is September 23rd, so that's not going to matter. That's all I'm showing as far as Civic Center. I think September will work. if we put on the calendar pretty soon. Because Family Support Services has their Mardi Gras. They don't have another event again until the Harley Davidson, and that's in the summer. Then Panhandle Museum. Let me find out when the Panhandle Museum ball is, because Stephanie left. If not, I'm sure Lisa will tell me, because she's part of that event. Theirs goes as far as September 23rd, and it's not
On
during
a
that time
Tuesday?
frame. So I think you're good in September. Those will be the major effects, because I know Symphony's not doing anything, Nutcracker's not doing anything then.
So a Tuesday's a good night for that?
No, I would still keep Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
I would still keep Saturday, but I'd pick a Saturday in September.
So the 27th? Or the 20th?
I would probably do the 20th. I think
I
you're,
was gonna
well,
say-
that's
I
the
was gonna
fair.
say the fair.
That's the fair.
Yeah.
Yep. I think you're good with the 27th. Because the fair ends Friday, the 26th. So you would be good with the 27th.
Okay.
And I will invite Phyllis Nicholson. Her husband's a judge. They're big tri-state people and rodeo people. And I think if I talk to her, and we need to attend a meeting for Amarillo Women's Network. I need to find a day when I can take off school. Friday, they have it on Fridays. So we can announce who you are, introduce you to everybody, mission, vision, and then what we have upcoming.
Okay.
That would be a good place to do your Jesus challenge, and then notify about the gala.
Okay.
As soon as you finalize a date.
Okay.
Let me think. You need to do Amarillo Business Women. Kathy Sheik is in charge of that. You'll meet some good people there, and there's not a lot of nonprofits that go there, but you can get some really good chairs for your gala through them. You can get a sponsor for your silent auction. I'm a big component of that. Don't do it yourself. And real estate companies love to do that.
Do you know anything about Town and Country? Real estate, Jana Brown and Kendrick. I know the last name is going to come to me. I just worked with them when I bought my house here and everything like that. And she's been like, when we were thinking about whether or not we could find somebody to donate office space and things like that, she jumped right on it for me, things like that. So,
Then I would ask them, because I've never heard them to be a part of that. And I'm pretty sure that's a good opportunity for them, because usually it's Myrna with M Group, or Lori Horner with Lori Horner Real Estates. Then it's Moorhead Real Estate. All of those are the ones that do the big events.
okay.
And I'm pretty sure it'd be nice for them to get some recognition.
Sponsor the silent auction, huh?
Mm-hmm. And what they do is sponsoring the silent auction is they're in charge of getting all the silent auction items. We can man it. I can get volunteers to man it, so that's not a problem. But that means the baskets are ready. We can have a big old little party, basket gathering party if they want us to, where we can make the baskets together. But I'm a big component of baskets.
Right.
They just do better. And if they say no, let me know.
Okay.
because
will.
I can ask, let me see who Alexis is with now. I think it's too late in the game to ask Myrna Moreland. And my husband's actually went to school with him. So I bet I can call him and ask him, and he'll get all the other girls in and sync with him and be our sponsor if they won't.
Okay.
But I think it's a really good opportunity for them to get their
I'll
name
notify
out.
him and see what she says. So,
Yeah. If not, Keller Williams will.
yeah, somebody will pick it up, I know,
Mhm.
but this will give them a chance to step out.
Yeah, it will, and I think it'd be really great.
Yeah,
And everything you do on social media and everything will have their logo on it
Right.
as the silent auction sponsors.
exactly. So
And
I'll
then we
talk
want to
to
do
him.
a little reel with them, you know, getting the stuff and getting the baskets ready. We want to promote them heavily
Mhm.
during that time frame. Any of our sponsors, we want to promote heavily.
Yes.
So September, I think will be good. So move Gala to September.
You think the Heritage Room or what?
Yes. And if you need me to call Donna to book that, I can. She should give it to you for. No, I know they were going up. Hopefully, they didn't go up a whole lot because it used to be $1,000. I don't think they went up a whole lot
Mhm.
more because Northside Tour Drive still does theirs
That's
there.
about what we paid for our last
Okay.
place, but that was on the north side exhibit
Fourth
hall.
exhibit.
Okay. And if we have a smaller group, I would do timeless events. My girlfriend just took over that. She just purchased it.
Okay.
It's beautiful. So if we have a smaller crew, because the only bad thing about it is at the Civic Center, if you don't have a full room, you're going to notice the emptiness.
Mhm.
Yes.
And we don't want that.
Yeah.
So we're going to need to cater our service to the amount of people we have.
Mhm.
Because you want the place to look
Yeah.
full when you take your
Want it
pictures
to
and
look
everything.
full.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. We need to be focusing on Panhandle Gibbs starting ASAP. We need to designate heavy hitters. So anybody that you're thinking about asking for the tiny villages needs to be saved. They need to ask them now,
Mhm.
but the donation doesn't need to come in until Panhandle Gibbs opens.
Okay.
And then they need to issue us a check then. That way it'll be amplified.
Mhm.
That we can secure it anytime. We're just gonna say, okay, thank you for your donation, but can you hold on to the check
Yeah.
and date it this date? And do that because they'll see their name on TV and all that good stuff because they broadcast all the donors, and we will highlight all our donors in our media frenzy for Panhandle Gives. So I'd save any big money for that. Anybody who's going to do 10,000 and above needs to be saved for Panhandle Gives.
10,000 or above or
Mhm.
one? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, 10,000 or above. That's we need lots of $10,000, 5,000 and above. So we can focus this year on smaller for the gala because we'll raise more money, but if we start hitting our 10,000s and aboves. Plus, we'll have the grants that will hopefully be coming in by then to help us with the tiny village.
Okay.
Were you able to get any overhead as to operations and everything for me by any chance?
No, that was not something that I looked into.
Do you know when the CPA will be done?
I
Let
was
me
gonna say,
know,
that's a little
'cause
out of my
she just-
department.
Huh?
That's out of my department, really.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at my
That's
department.
Pam Bowman. Let me follow up with her. I mean, we were talking this morning, but we didn't talk about that.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
let me
just
see
ask
when
her
she can
when she'll have the
finish up.
990 ready.
Okay.
And if she feels comfortable with me, issuing me a P&L and an income expense to be able to do some grants. Because I can't do a grant without those two.
Right.
Okay.
And then the budget, of course. And I need those three things. If I have those three things, I can start writing grants. I know I'm like, when's the CPA gonna be done? I'm behind schedule.
For sure.
No. a learning curve. That's part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and I mean, last year was really our first year
I know. And,
to
yeah,
really be, and
there's a lot to
with
learn.
with
Yeah.
everything being put in Jennifer's basket, and with Milo dying, and then Susie dying,
I
and
know.
everything was pushed back. So there's a lot of grief there. So she was shut
And
down
that's
for a little
rough.
while.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
she
no
she
way.
lost her 11-month-old grandbaby.
Mm.
Yeah, that she took care of on a regular basis, and then her aunt that she was very close to.
Yikes.
As soon as she was starting to come out of her hole, then Susie died.
Jeez.
So yeah, she got
That's a lot
pummeled
to
last
handle.
year. Yeah, so that's why we're so far behind on that.
Mhm.
So.
No, that's understandable. Kylo. We need to get everybody together. It needs to be a mandatory meeting, priority, because I can't do a strategic plan without everybody together.
Okay.
We need to designate when we're going to do the social medias, the reels, who's going to do what, when it's going to be processed, sent out. We need dates. Yeah, we need to find a time when everybody can be there.
And that's all of the volunteers,
That's
or
Lindy.
just the
No,
leaders?
just the leaders. I won't ever meet with all the volunteers and everybody. That's what you think. I won't ever do that. I need the heavy hitters who are going to be a part of being in charge of something.
Okay.
That's the only people I'll meet with.
Okay.
So that we can be strategically, everybody knows what they're responsible for. We have a consensus of what everybody's doing and the timelines that they're doing it, because there's a lot of, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
Mhm.
So we need to come together and format where everybody knows what everybody's doing.
Mhm.
Most importantly, because of the social media. And then, do you have bylaws?
Mhm.
Okay. Will you send me your bylaws?
Okay.
I'll need to take a look at your bylaws. And I think once we get all the leaders together and get everything strategized is when you tell people, okay, if you are not in a leadership role, please do not post anything on LinkedIn. Anything. LinkedIn is somewhere you don't want just anybody doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You're like me with all my spam calls. They finally stopped.
No, it's a specific person that I. Mm-mm,
Oh.
not right now.
Yeah. Not today.
Mm-mm.
Do you guys have any questions for me?
I'm thinking.
Is he out there for us?
Yes, but he's okay. He's being a whiny baby.
Because I was gonna say we're all animal lovers.
You
not
are
people.
fine.
He's fine.
He is.
He's through the door.
He's like, Mama, I want to be in here. He doesn't really like people a whole lot. He's very scaredy cat. So he's,
Gotcha.
yeah, he's a big old scaredy cat. He just wants to go to sleep is all it is.
Well,
You're
good for him.
silly.
Poor baby.
He's like, it's cold
I
outside.
know. It's like, you're silly.
I don't have any questions, but I agree totally. Organization is so important right now because the ministry's building quickly, and it's kind of
The last 6 months
just
have been
gone
insane.
like
Yeah.
this. Now it needs to come back like this and be set in place, because then everybody knows their place, their position, their job, their duty, their whatever.
And
then-
because you guys are so new, I can't just look it up online
Yeah.
and be like, oh, you do this and this and this and this. Let me strategize for you, because I'm like, I can't find anything. So yeah, it's very hard for me on my end without getting everybody together.
So
Because you're so new.
with that being said, should more be available online when it comes to?
Everything you do, like you getting the boutique ready, you doing your Bible counseling, all the volunteer meetings, everything should be posted on social media, your Facebook page. You need to let people know what you're doing, because again, your donors and your grant foundations are going to look at them.
Okay.
They are.
Okay.
And then when they see that we don't have anything, they're gonna be like, well, what's going on?
What are they doing?
Okay.
Yeah,
Believe me.
what are they
What are they
doing?
doing?
So
Mhm.
everything you do, you get a new T-shirt, it needs to be on social media.
Okay.
Believe me, everybody goes to social media to find out anything
They
about
do.
anybody, about anything about them.
And then you
what's
want to create
going
an
on.
event. Anytime you're doing anything, create the event.
Mhm.
And get everybody, all your volunteers, all your executives, all your board to like, because the
Yeah.
more it's liked, the more it shows up on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then everybody's going to be like, oh, so-and-so wasn't interested in blah, blah, blah. So now everybody's interested in it or
Mhm.
going or not. So
Mhm.
it's a strategy game.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anything you're doing needs to be posted.
Okay.
The one thing I would reserve for the gala is you need a professional photographer.
Okay.
And I do have a friend of mine that will do it for us.
Okay.
Because you want those pictures to be amazing.
Mhm.
That's going to get people to be like, oh, that looks so pretty. I want to be there.
Mhm.
Take a picture you want to post your pictures of prominent
Of what?
Amarillo people.
Okay.
So your mayor, if he shows up, your business owners, your real estate company for sponsors. You want to have fun photos of them, and you want to post those pictures on your website of them. Because then they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, Susie was there.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? What was that?
Yeah.
And you're gonna get more guests coming.
You know, when you get the chamber magazines or the book
Oh, yeah.
thing they put out, everybody's got their picture with everybody, and you're like, why do they have so many pictures?
That's why,
exactly
because we're all prominent people. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes, and it is like that. It's like, oh, Susie was there. What were you doing? I wouldn't know. Where'd you go? Why? Why were you there? And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Oh, okay. Well, next year, there it is.
Yeah.
So it's all about who you know, unfortunately.
But when you're trying to
Because I
raise
don't know
money,
anybody.
yeah. Well, you're gonna get to know people.
Yes. And Amarillo is very loyal. So it's going to take a little bit for you to sway them from another event. So don't take offense to it. Amarillo is just very loyal. So, but I think the same people have been going to the same things for so long. I think they're ready for something new. They're getting a little bored with the same old, same old. And so I think this is a great time to come in as a new organization and do something different, especially if yours is different. Like Ronald McDonald did a fantastic job when they did that wine and that In Her Shoes, where
I didn't hear about that.
okay, so Ronald McDonald has a new gala that they do, and what they do is the men wear heels and they showcase the men. It's a runway.
So funny.
And then they have what is called a closet. So they get one organization to donate $10,000 worth. And they buy all the stuff for this closet. And they raffle it off. There'll be one person who bought a ticket to the event, because you have to be present to win, who wins that
Oh,
closet.
Really?
And it's worth $10,000.
Exciting.
Kim Mullane won it last year. Yeah, she was so excited.
I bet.
But everybody wants to be there because it's a wine tasting and a purse event. It used to be wine and purses,
Yeah.
and now they turned it into this guys in heels, and it's all like all the big people, all of the auto owners, all of the presidents of the banks, so it's everybody who's anybody there. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. Go look at their Facebook page. They have it on there.
Mhm.
It should be coming up pretty soon. But it's amazing. It's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's all new. Stephanie Price brought it in from Dallas.
Really?
Yeah. And it's always good that's why I like going to Dallas and Oklahoma to events, because you want to go see something that is not here
I bet.
and bring it back here, because everybody's all about something new.
Mhm.
Because, I kept trying to convince JDRF to do the color run, and they kept telling me no. And then somebody else brought it in. I'm like, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? Told you it was going to be a big deal. I'd go to all those in Dallas. And it is packed. So, I just like to look at events and just go to an event in Dallas and see what it's like.
Mhm.
You get some great ideas.
I was fixing to say ideas.
Mhm.
Great ideas.
Oklahoma
Sure.
City.
Good.
My brother-in-law he owns a construction company, so he gets invited to all the galas. I'm like,
Mhm.
you know what's coming. I want to be there.
Yeah.
So you get some great ideas, and it's always, don't be afraid to change, because it's the same old, same old.
Mhm.
So it won't do well if you just do the same thing that you're doing as everybody else.
Mhm.
It needs to be
that's
something
true.
new.
So what are we doing?
I don't
So
know.
yeah.
Let me think.
Gee, let's put Nancy on the spot.
I know, because my last one was that whining thing, and Stephanie got it, and she ran with it because we were going to do it for the March of Dimes, and the March of Dimes
Really?
closed.
Gotcha.
And then Ronald McDonald took it over because they're still March of Dimes and Ronald McDonald went hand in hand.
Yeah.
So they took it.
Gotcha.
I don't know what's new this year. I need to do my research and find out.
I know, give us some theme things.
Yeah.
We can run with that. Yeah.
Because Dallas Chamber has some great stuff. I mean, they post everything. So I always like to look and see
Yeah.
what they're doing and go on their Facebook page and kind of get ideas and
Mhm.
of how to do it.
Okay.
I'll find something.
Okay.
And like I said, this year, maybe not this year, next year. 2026 is when I will be a little more front and center.
Plan.
Yes. Because right now it's just I'm trying to meet everybody, realize what everybody does, and how you want it done. So 2026 will be more in October. We're gonna know exactly how we're doing things, who's doing what, when we're doing it.
Well, I think it's important for me to say that, when I started this, my whole focus and aspects,
Mhm.
just my focus is, the redemption and safety.
Right.
And so when it comes to the fundraising, it was one of those, I have to do fundraising
Yeah.
too.
Unless you want to pay for it out of pocket.
That's why you have
Well, that's not a possibility at this point.
That way
So.
you don't have to do it.
Right?
And so, but basically, so I don't have any.
Because my goal, what I see, how I see it working, and you guys let me know if you don't agree with this, is the sponsorships are going to help pay for some of the functions like the parades, all those kind of things, maybe some salaries for positions that need to be a paying position. It's there to just hold you more liable. And then the gala will be strictly for the tiny village. Is that how you guys see that working?
Yeah, I don't see.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah, I
the
mean,
way it
'cause
should
that's-
work. We talked
yeah.
about that it's, briefly we've talked about it, but yeah, that we need a focused event for the tiny homes, because one of the things that's happened that I've seen, because like I said, I worked for a lot of nonprofits over the 20 years, and the thing that I've talked to Jessica about is that we kind of got pulled away from the tiny home goal because we're so busy taking care of everybody that came along.
Yeah.
We've done a great job at that. We've
Mm.
stepped into this community. I'm so impressed with this ministry and what they've done, because I've only been with them since May.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, that what I've seen it do is a lot of people in the community are now looking to us to fill in the gap where they don't have something else, or for us to take over
Mm-hmm.
and deal with people that they are not necessarily comfortable dealing with in situations they're not used to doing. And because we offer so many of those services, and I've even cautioned us about how much of our services we list on our brochures, because I think it draws people in for the goodies. Not a bad thing. People
No,
do
but I
things,
agree.
not complaining.
Yeah.
But Jessica knows me, and I gave her a 3-year plan, so you're ready. But the thing is, my thing is, the focus is on getting that tiny home village built, and then moving to another one. And so that's where I operate out there.
Okay.
And because I've been around so long, I have the ability to see the pieces as they're falling out of the big picture.
Yes.
And kind
Yes.
of, that's kind of what I do. I mean, I'm not.
No, that's great, because that's what I don't see. I don't have all those pieces, and when I'm looking for things, I can't find them. Like you really don't have a social media presence.
Yeah.
So I can't find what I need, what grants are going to need, what foundations are going to need from us to be able to get those grants.
Right.
So when I say gala, that's because until I get the ducks lined up how I need to for grants to work, because that's what I'll be doing. I will be writing the grants to fund your tiny villages. That's that's what I'm going to be writing grants for. So you should be able to have $100,000 worth of grants to be able to purchase at least 6 houses within each year. And then the operations for the sponsorships, because the sponsors don't care what you use the money for.
No.
They just sponsor because they're getting something for their sponsorship.
Right.
They don't care what you use the money for. That's a great operations budget.
Okay.
And so why wouldn't you use a sponsorship for the tiny village also?
It's not enough money.
Not
So,
enough.
No.
Yeah, the kind of donations and things we need to attract
Mhm.
for
And you
that
think
are
the
gonna
gala
be,
will bring that
it's
in?
gonna come from grants. It's gonna
I
be-
think
Yeah,
in
Mom
3
went to-
years the gala will bring that.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think it will the next 2 years.
Yeah.
But by the third year, yes.
Yeah.
Because Jessica's going to be on News Channel 4, News Channel 10. She's going to be all over
Oh,
social
yeah.
media talking about every single grant we get, highlighting the very first Tiny
Absolutely.
Village we do. I mean, we are heavy hitting all
Heavy
of that.
hitters.
And
Yes.
once people see that, they're going to want to be a part of it.
That's right.
They are. But it's going to be me going, let's go.
But it's,
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to clear your schedule this day.
Get that kettle prod.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna need you to clear your schedule this day because we got to be here. You
Yeah.
know, and the bad thing about the media is they are, you can count on it. At 6 o'clock in the
Yeah.
afternoon, I'm getting a call saying, "Hey, can I do an interview in 30 minutes with you?"
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my-
Every single time it's happened, it's always been, hey, 30
Oh,
minutes, and I'm
yes.
just like, what?
They're the best at that.
You're lucky I showered today.
Right? they love that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, somebody cancels on them and they're like, "Hey, I know you guys are sorry." So I always said yes.
Absolutely.
Every time they called me, I always said yes.
Yes.
And that's how people knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't always have to be you. You know, it can be somebody else. You know, it can be Lindy who's in charge of whatever. You know, it can be Courtney. It can be anybody. They just have to be very well spoken and be comfortable on the camera.
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
That's
Right,
not
on the
me.
camera.
I mean, I'm fine with the cameras.
I'm
and
like,
all that
that's all
kind of
I
stuff, but
ask.
I'm not well spoken.
Oh, no, I knew well. We're working on
Oh, I
that.
think you're very well.
You're
spoken.
very well spoken. So, yes.
You don't
You
need to
do
worry about
fine,
that.
believe me, so.
I didn't hear you.
You're very well spoken.
hmm And I'm really good about me showing up with my my big old poster board.
Yeah. Really.
Everything's written out. Yeah, because you know you get in there and you get lost. I'm like,
Yeah.
read, just read.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
I've got
to
it for
read
you,
it.
and I'm going down.
And that's another thing that I was telling Mike. I mean, because we went and talked to the Corvette Club, and I was like, I should have shared a story. People love stories, and I forget to tell
Well,
stories.
because you start talking and
Yeah,
then you
forget
forget
it.
what you're doing. So that's why I'm like, read
I
the
do
board.
it all the time.
Read the board.
Cue cards.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
And they're big, huge red poster boards. I am, and they're like, next, and next. Everything's
Boy, that'd be
written out.
great in this wind, huh?
Yeah. Well, you're inside,
Yeah.
so that's a good thing. They usually do it at the studio.
Mhm.
So
It's
it
like the gala. All my notes.
nice.
Because I had to know exactly what I was doing, exactly when it took place, and what was next, and I didn't
Oh,
forget.
and
And I
everybody
was
will
so
have one of
scared
those for
to
the
death I
gala.
was going to miss something. I was like, put it in red.
Yeah, I'm a big agenda girl. Here's everybody's agenda. Here's your
Yeah,
logistics.
yeah.
Your, silent auction. Your this.
Yeah.
Everybody has a checkoff list.
Yeah.
Everything has to be checked
It
off.
works.
And I mean, I'm pretty sure I can get my girlfriends that are bankers to do that. It's just
Be
always been a rule I
wonderful.
have.
Absolutely.
I don't ever get a volunteer to handle the money. I always had people who work at the bank. Because they know what to do
They know
and
me.
they're going to be trustworthy. And most of the time we did it at People's Federal Credit Union, and we just went from the event to People's Federal Credit Union, deposited it. It
Yeah.
never stayed anywhere. It never went anywhere. It was from there to there. Because
Now,
the
we
girls,
have a relationship with Education Credit Union, so,
education's not as well. They don't do that.
okay,
They don't. That's why we always use people.
okay,
Amarillo National Bank doesn't like to do that either, unless you're the Symphony Ball.
yeah.
But Education
that's
Credit
who we
Union
bank
won't take
with.
the money from the event that night to go deposit it,
Huh,
where
okay.
People's Federal Credit Union will.
Okay, well, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
I think that's
And
what we
Kendra's fantastic. I've always trusted her to do that. And her, and then I've got a girl from an Amarillo National Bank, so you always want to get two people from two different places,
Mhm.
so they can be, education can be there
need. Yeah.
with Kendra because
Yeah.
it's always good. That's just things I do.
Okay.
Two different banks, two different people. You'll need a decoration committee. You'll need a silent auction committee. You will need a VIP donor committee. That means we have called them ahead of time and asked them for that donation. So we do a live auction, but it's like, who's going to sponsor this tiny house? Those were already pre-committed, and you're going to give them credit at the event. They're like, do we have
That's
anybody
right.
who's going to donate $10,000 for a tiny village, or do we have anybody who's going to donate $25,000? I am.
Yeah.
All right, way to go. They don't have to know we already got it.
Yeah.
So it's that. So you'll need a VIP. You'll need an MC.
And you've got all of the people for all of these committees in your program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Volunteers. You don't do alcohol, so you don't have to worry about Jonathan Barjay. Although they do a great service job, they will serve. They do a fantastic job. Well, you need to decide if you want to have entertainment.
Good evening, ladies.
Hello.
Entertainment.
Hey,
That's
there.
my hubby, Mario.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet y'all.
Wait, this is Jessica.
Hi.
That's Courtney.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
That's Karen.
Hi.
And this is Miss Peggy.
Hi. The one that almost backed up your pickup a while ago.
I knew you were coming in. I was like, I knew just get out of the way.
I was
thought
like,
you were gonna
Oh,
pull
no, I wasn't sure what I was doing. I was like, oh no, I better back up here.
We were talking about we couldn't have an event at the time of the rodeo, and I was like, oh yeah, because we go to the rodeo.
Yes.
He knows a lot of the ranchers.
I want to go to rodeo. I love rodeos.
Y'all
No,
have
so
fun?
it'll be.
Thanks for
I
letting
haven't
us
been
crash at
there.
your
Every
house.
time I go,
Yeah.
but
Oh, you know, come with
I
us. We go
love
every year.
rodeos.
Every year.
I'd like to know somebody when I go there because
Yeah,
my
my
daughter works and goes to
husband and I
school
used
all
to
the
go
time,
all the
so
time.
she's not gonna be much.
Well,
fun.
you ladies
See,
can
and I
just join
haven't
us.
been.
So just have
Well,
Oh, you'll
time
have to
to
join us
go
because
on.
we know
Lovely.
Mario, one of his really good high school friends, does. They compete in it. From
Oh, yeah.
where's Cowboy from, babe?
Oops,
Oh, I think it
went
was
to Graham.
Yeah, so we have them, and then it's just all of some of his clients and just everybody. Where's Cowboy from? What ranch?
Something tongue, 3 tongue?
Yeah, they're pretty far, but they come and compete every time, and they won third. And then when one time when we went to go see them, and
Yeah.
It's a 3
That's
tongue
awesome.
ranch. It's in,
it's a lot of fun.
it's over by between Post and Groom.
Hmm
So,
It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we do the
Oh, yeah.
WRCA every year.
We do all of them.
Yeah. I wanna do them
Yeah,
all,
because
but
it's all
I
the
don't
same
have to
people.
do it.
It's all the same people. So you let us know. We'll join you.
I'm telling you, I was with the Tucson Rodeo for over 20 years, and so I coached rodeo
The
queens.
Tucson Rodeo.
Oh, Tucson,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they're having their 100th anniversary. They didn't get to go back this year, but it's on
Oh,
right
I bet
now.
that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're sending me pictures. The girls are sending me pictures. But I coached the rodeo
Nice.
queens for a long, long time, and was on the committee for a short time, and then I retired to go into workforce development. So-
Nice. See, Miss Karen and Miss Peggy, you'll just join us when we go to the rodeo, baby.
Don't forget about me. I'm going to.
That's on Claude. I know,
Live rodeo.
I got conned into buying one of those hats that are real tall.
Oh,
And then I
no.
came home and I'm like, oh
Oh.
no. No, you let me walk around the rodeo looking like this?
That's funny.
Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah. My grandson did ranching when he was at WT. He did ranching in the summertime. He did working ranch when he was a kid.
See, and my husband's an OD5, and a lot of the OD5 guys
Oh, yeah.
do the ranching too.
But,
Yeah, like the guys from over at Boys Ranch, I know them.
yeah.
Yeah, because I like to do the out of town routes, and when I do the out of town routes, I just get to know them.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
People like the Harold Ranch, but they don't.
They don't
They
compete
don't,
anymore.
They don't compete in anything,
Yeah.
but it's just their meat that they sell and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
It's-
Their
What about
trail
New
meat. It's
Mexico?
called
Do they have
trail.
ranchers
What is it
come
called,
over here?
babe? Trail.
New
His
Mexico?
clients love him so much because they have his personal cell phone. So even when he's not at work, he's doing stuff for them because people don't know. So he's like, I need you to do this and this and this and this. Okay, he's gonna meet you here. He's gonna go and they're like, Mario, I need you to. Okay, well I'll just do something and then I'll go back and pick yours up. So he caters to them.
Yeah.
But we get coolers
Well, yeah.
every 2 weeks of
That's awesome.
steaks and meat. I
Yeah,
mean, they stock us.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's called the Harold Ranch is what we're known for, but it's called Tri-Tail Meats.
What's their daughter's name that goes to Grace?
Helen.
Helen. I know Helen.
Yes, Helen. Her
Okay,
parents
yeah.
own Harold Ranch.
Yeah.
Mary and
I've got her
Sam.
business card in my truck.
Yeah, she's amazing. So you need to ask her because she will be a donor for the silent auction.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, Sam and Mary, that's the parents, and then Helen and Connor are they kind of run it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
Sam and Mary, they own it.
Yeah.
And they just kind of sit back.
Yeah.
And let the kids take care of it. these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
And maybe we can even talk to Helen about doing a clay shoot for healing through him
There you go.
at the ranch. The ranch is
I don't know about that.
You don't think Sam will do it?
Sam doesn't let anybody on his property. He don't let me on his property.
But they do the desserts.
Yeah.
So yes, he does.
But you only go like a mile down the,
Oh yeah, well that's what we're asking. We're not asking to go down to his ranch.
but all his cattle's out there.
Oh, that's true.
All of his cattle's around there. He's not going over there.
That's true.
How'd they do during the fire? Were they okay during the fire?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't get to me.
Good.
Good.
But the one guy that, Mr. Black, he's got a lot of land and he's got a shooting range out there already.
Oh, and he does the boar hunts, right? Or what?
No, he's too old now.
What farmers does the boar? Or am I
Bunch of
thinking?
guys.
Or am I thinking about the one who does the 4-wheeler thingy?
Oh, that's Adventure, Mercer Adventure.
Hmm. Maybe we can do something with them as well.
They're,
He's got a lot of connections,
they just barely opened not too long ago. They've probably been open for like.
and those are the better ones because they want the promotion.
Right.
Yeah.
They want the
Yeah.
publicity
And
of
a lot
doing
people
something.
don't really know about them because they're way out there.
Way
If you're
out
not going down County Road 1151 or 1258, you'll never see them.
And all of those kind of things, I asked Mario to ask them. So they usually donate a package to us, and I just go and pick it up, but he does the ask.
Yeah.
Because you have to know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those kind of things is who you know.
For sure.
I was in Arizona a long time and I've only been here a couple of years. And so I'm just now getting the feel for things here.
Yeah, because it's very different.
Yeah,
Amarillo's a special little beast.
They put out some cabins. They put out there at the adventure place, they put out cabins. Now you can stay out there.
Oh, wow.
And I think right now they're up to like 8 or 9 cabins.
Oh, wow. I'll have to look them up.
Well, and then even through Amarillo Network, the Dove cabins by PDC.
Mhm.
I can never. I get them in Dove Creek because Dove Creek's in my brain. I can't remember what they're called. Dove something. They do the cabins and they will donate. So will Starlight.
Okay.
They are fantastic people to work with.
Awesome.
So they will do a package for us
Awesome.
for both the cabin and for Starlight Ranch.
Okay.
And those will be ask I'll make.
And the one right beside that adventure place, I mean, at least 4 times a year, they have get-togethers, and I'm not lying to you. There's probably about close to 200 Jeeps that meet out there.
See, that's who we need to ask about bringing the Jeeps to the car show.
They take them down to the canyons, and they just follow each other, and
Yeah.
they just. But I mean, I'm talking. They stay out there. They start on a Thursday, and they leave Sunday. So they're out there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then they leave Sunday.
They can fill up the
That
canyon.
sounds fun.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they've
He's been trying to get us out there for a while.
Huge land
Yeah,
area, and everybody parks up top,
yeah,
and they put
oh,
out their
okay,
campers. I mean, it looks like
wow.
almost like a Woodstock area.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, there's probably hundreds of campers
Wow.
out there.
Yeah.
Even if we do like a retreat, we're just the executives out there. And that would be a great place to go do the strategic planning every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be really good.
Awesome.
So,
Very cool.
And if it's outdoors, just let me know, because I know a lot.
Thank you, Laura.
oh, I do need you to find somewhere for Whitney. She needs to see if somebody can get her a place to blow up a trailer house.
To blow up one.
They're blowing up a trailer house. They're doing target practice and they're blowing up a trailer house.
Not like a bomb or anything.
It's a ministry too. I'm like, let me see
Whatever
if Mario knows
works.
somebody. I know that nobody in Amarillo is gonna do it.
Well, the only thing about that is
Oh, my.
you're gonna have to get the fire department.
There will be a volunteer fire department. Randall County's doing it.
Oh, so you have to have somebody in Randall County though.
No, they can come out because it's volunteer.
I know, but they can't leave their county.
Well, I've got a trailer she can explode.
She's got a trailer she can explode.
Well, I've got another one.
Oh, no, let me say that because she'll love that. She
No,
will love
seriously,
that.
because we were talking
Really?
about having the fire department out just to have a
Right.
training day
Oh,
for the guys, just to
wow.
get this thing off our property.
Yeah, say that because she'll love that.
So yeah,
There you
I'll
go.
give
It's
it
just
to
a
her.
mobile home. Yeah, it's
a great
just
big-
a.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge mobile home.
Yeah.
And it is trashed inside. I mean,
Yeah,
completely trashed. It is not livable.
It's not just
Yeah,
trash.
it-
Okay.
so
It's
the
trash.
previous
I
owners
think that's how theirs
the
are.
previous owners were hoarders, and they
Oh,
hoarded
wow.
cats in that thing.
Ew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was horrible. So that's
Yikes.
why we got
They'll
the
be like,
property.
just blow it
That's
up.
why we got the property for half price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got
Clean up on aisle 12.
Exactly. That's the only things that we have to clean up.
I would say to get with the sheriff department.
No, because the person that she had in Randall County, right by Duff Creek, bailed out on them because it's too dry.
That's what I'm saying, it's a fire.
I was gonna
That's
say,
what I'm saying,
fire
if
hazard,
you
it's
do
gonna be
it
hard to
fight
find somebody
with
to do that.
the sheriff department, then they could talk to the fire department and they'll say, okay, well, we'll just, if it's for a nonprofit, I'm sure they'll bring it out here and we'll just.
What land is your trailer on?
Say it again.
What land is your trailer on?
Ours, the one that we bought to build the tiny house village.
And you
on.
would be okay with blowing it up there at your property?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, and here's the thing: is that
Because we get the volunteer
it's
fire
all
department.
just yucca.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's barren land. There's not
Nice.
really that much grass or anything else, and so I mean, there is on the back half down in the drop off into the creek bed.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of swamp
Yeah,
grass
but
down
if
there.
they-
But up here, I mean, it's all
Nice.
just that red clay for the most part. There's
and
really
this
not any grass.
organization
It's all yucca.
is building an orphanage in Belize.
Awesome.
So that's what they're part of a ministry. I think they're part of Hillside.
Okay.
I can't remember where she said they were from.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that'd be great. I'll tell her about that. And she is a fantastic
So if she wants to
connector.
come blow that one out,
I'm like,
she can.
Whitney, yes, but you'll have to be our chair for our gala.
There you go.
That's how we do
Perfect
that.
swap.
That's how we do that.
Perfect
We'll do this for you if you do this for us. Yeah.
There you go.
Because she's fantastic.
There's our solution.
Yep.
Where
Where there's a will, there's a way.
There you go.
It's Whitney Up Church.
You were
She's
talking about
fantastic.
Dove Creek. You were talking about Dove Creek.
Dove Creek?
I know the lady out there that owns
Lori?
it, and yeah,
I
and
used to work for her.
Go out there and work, volunteer. It's a volunteer job,
Yes.
but I loved it. And I used to take girls out there to help with the horses and stuff on the weekends.
Yes.
What a wonderful
It is
thing.
beautiful. And but
Stress free.
she's having such a hard time right now.
Even
So
just one visit, they could tell a huge difference. They're
Yeah.
like, thank you so
she does
much.
therapy with horses.
Oh, gotcha.
Equine therapy.
Very cool.
And or you can just go out there and the land is, oh my gosh. I mean, you could
It's
just,
beautiful.
yeah, it's
It's right by the
beautiful.
canyon.
You wouldn't even have to do the therapy. You could just sit out there.
We just
Yeah.
kind of drive down here in
Mhm.
sort of a canyon around her place, and then she has all these horses, and like we volunteered on the weekend. We groom the horses and clean the stalls
And mucking
and all that
and
stuff.
mhm.
Yeah. It was really
Yeah, feeding the
a-
horses. And,
It was
I'm a retired horse
wonderful.
trainer. That does not appeal to me, much as I love horses. I did meet some people with another horse rescue that's on the east side of town, and I cannot think the name of it off the top of my head.
Yeah, you were
But
telling me about
They
it.
were
the other
really,
day, but I
they're
don't
really,
think
really
you
neat
said
people.
the
I'm gonna go
name.
out and meet with them and see, but yeah, I get enough. I've
Or
been retired
therapy's
from horses for
wonderful
long enough, but I
therapy.
get enough just taking care of my daughter's horse.
Oh, yeah.
It changes. Because
but she laughed at me so hard because I'm a city girl. I don't, yeah, that's not me. And so when she goes, I want you to come muck. I'm like, what? I want you to
I
come
know.
muck. I was like, okay.
I pay people. For
So
that.
I went over there and I'm like, you want me to do what?
She does therapy.
I was like, honey, I love you, Lori, but this is not what you pay me to do. She's like, well, Nancy, I need you to know, I don't need to know how to muck to raise money for you.
I want you to go out there
No.
and run that pasture.
No. I'm like, I love you, but
Clean
no.
the arena.
So yeah, and when I
Well-
started writing all the grants, she's like, I told you I didn't need to know how to. I just need to watch you do it. If I watch you do it, I can do my part. But yeah, she admitted, I'm like,
She
no.
also does
That's
therapy
hard
there,
work.
horse therapy and other therapy there in the arena.
Yes,
With groups.
because I got her started with the VA.
Yeah. I've been
So that's
part
one of the
that.
programs I created, and then the Dove Creek drive-through. So we
Yeah.
had the senior homes come out,
Oh,
and for
yeah.
those that were mobile could
Oh.
get off. For those that were not, would stay in the van,
Mhm.
and would give them a plush, a little horse,
Mhm.
and then take a picture. And Atmos Energy was all over that.
Awesome.
So yeah, because you'll get a lot of people to say,
Yeah.
don't create a program for the grant. I completely disagree. 100%. If they're going to give you money and you don't have the program, create the program.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Because I was able to raise her $168,000. So yeah,
Awesome.
you
Great.
just create the program. It can be as
Yeah.
simple as giving a plush little dog a horsey and taking a picture.
Yeah.
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 And they gave me $10,000.
It's amazing.
Yes, and it did not cost anywhere near $10,000.
Awesome.
So yeah, so don't be afraid to create programs.
There you go.
I know, because her then consultant was like, "No, you don't create." I'm like, "Oh, don't tell me how to fund these, please." I'm like, just trust me. Trust me. If it doesn't work, we tried it, and you're right. I will back off.
That's right.
But if it works, I'm like,
You
"Well, you
never
just
know.
let me try it." So thank goodness she did. She let me go. So she's
That
like,
was-
"Try it. Do whatever you want to do."
When I was at the U of A, we did that for a while. Unfortunately, the U of A got the budget cuts in 2008 and we were gone. But I mean, and that's, that's my concern is I've seen the big one. I mean, we were around, the phase had been around for over 20 years. And it just,
Oh, your development director dropped the ball
well,
because they should foresee that.
yeah. and
Because I
that was
foresee it
one of the
already with
things that-
nonprofits coming with these executive orders. But
Arizona-
if you prepare well, you'll be all right.
But Tucson's a different animal.
Yeah, Tucson's big.
It's a different animal. It
Mhm.
is, we were losing support. That's all, because we were working on, we did WIA and everything else like that to
Yeah.
keep funding. But the U of A, they just couldn't, we were a non-academic program, they just couldn't keep us.
Yeah.
And there was nobody else in town to pick us up. I mean, one agency stood up and took some of what we were doing, but they could not do what we were doing.
Mhm.
So it was, so you kind of gotta watch for that coming. That's
Yeah, and it's coming because of the executive orders. It is.
Yeah.
The grants are going to be less and less.
Yep.
That is a
So-
given.
Mm.
I already see it coming. They've already cut the funding for all of the services. So all of the social services, all of the special needs services, they're getting cut. Food services for the school. The school system's in trouble, in major trouble. I don't see public schools surviving 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, it's that bad.
Wow.
Donald Trump did the executive order with cutting the DOE, and he cut the funding for special ed.
Yeah.
So now there's no money to pay teachers, and our free and reduced lunches went away. You can't do that. 80% of your population in the schools count on free and reduced lunches. So there he was trying to backtrack. Like, no, that's not what I meant to do. Yeah, you didn't pay attention. And he did it the last time he was president. I was so glad I was not a social worker then, because he cut all the social services, and I had the girls calling me, "Nancy, I need," I'm like, okay, let me see what I can do to help you. Because yeah, I wasn't in social services then, so I didn't see it. But now that I'm a nonprofit, you have to pay attention to those things, because it'll affect you 2 years from now.
Yeah.
You've got to see it coming. So because it'll cut the amount of tax write-offs that people can give. And if people can't write it off, they're not
They're not
as,
going
Yeah,
to
as
generous.
happy to donate to
That's
you.
right. That's right.
So you have to reserve.
That's all about.
So I'm gonna get you all this money while it's still there, but you know you got to plan for 2 years versus 3
Mhm.
years versus 1 year,
Mhm.
because it's coming. So, but that's my job to make sure you have enough to last you 3 years.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a little worried. hmm
Gotcha.
But if we play our cards right and we just reserve and we do everything like it's supposed to be done, where we don't spend money,
Yeah.
we'll be all right.
And we focus on the main goal too. I think that's one of the things that I just don't want to see us pulled, and I've said this before, I don't want to see us get pulled away from our main goal of getting those tiny homes built, to get the women in them, to get that program to where that works.
Mhm.
Oh, well, that's priority. That's
Yeah.
really what I'm focusing on
Yeah,
100%.
that's
Yeah.
what we've got to
That
do.
is
Well,
what-
and we got wrapped up in just taking care of the ladies that we had at
I know,
hand,
and that's,
and
as much as I love
'Cause,
those
man,
ladies and
we
I'm
got
happy to help them.
pummeled.
Yeah,
And I need that EIN, because I can't write Tiffany the note about the $1,800 gift cards without that EIN.
so,
And I need the address of where you want that sent, so that I can write the letter to her. I already called her and talked to her about it.
Okay.
I just didn't tell her how much we were asking for.
Okay.
But I'm thinking, is 1,800? You ladies that do the volunteering, do you think $1,800 for the year is enough money to help subside for the cost to take the ladies to Pampa or wherever, when you have to do that?
To take them where?
Like when we did the emergency
Driving them
transfer.
around and
Mhm.
all the emergency
Oh,
stuff.
driving around.
I mean, I would think at this point, at this rate, at this season that we've been in, that would probably cover it in a year.
Okay.
But we also, help the ladies with gas cards from time to time and
Okay.
and all that to get them to and from work until they're getting their first check.
Perfect. No, that's
So-
fine. That'll work. I just didn't want to lowball it. If you
Yeah.
needed more money, then I need to go in high and then negotiate.
Mhm.
I'd rather
I mean, there
negotiate
was
than for them
even-
to say, "Oh, sure, I'll give
We
you
even
1,800."
had one shelter in Maryland actually contact us that there was a woman here that's trying to get her away from her abuser, but instead of them getting her a bus ticket, she had her car and she didn't want to give up her car. I mean, that's everybody's
Well,
lifeline, you know. And so, but she needed gas money to get from here to there, so she was looking for $350 in gas. And so, I mean, there's situations like that pop up as
Okay.
well. So
Okay.
yeah, the more the better.
Then I'll just go in and ask for 2,500 for the first year,
So,
and I'll put that as
Right.
an example.
and so
And the
this
grant
is,
and the
you know, and
letter.
so we're basically, you know, if we can't shelter them and we can't get them into housing quickly, we get them out to, you know, family or wherever else we can to get them away from the abuser.
Okay.
So that's not uncommon.
That's good to know. So I'll call her tomorrow.
Okay.
And get that sent to her as soon as you send me that EIN number and that address. Then I will get that. Then I
Okay.
need the vector file for the t-shirts. And then the information from the CPA. Because as soon as she can get that to me, I can start writing grants. But I can't do it without it.
What?
So we need to get them going.
Yeah.
And tell me your 3-year plan. When you were talking about having positions paid for.
Have it right in
What
front of me.
what positions
You
did you see
emailed
paid
it to
for?
me.
I did, that's right. Have you got it, Jessica? Because I don't have it in there. I did not bring that book today, of course.
Because I just need to know what positions, what as far as operations, what we're looking at.
And I keep forgetting to look at it, Karen. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You may not like it when you see it either. It's just my thoughts. That's all it was a.
So while she's looking for that, did you email
I
me the
found it.
safety plan?
I have not yet, no.
I keep forgetting.
And do you have someone doing financial coaching and life skills?
We have a program. It's a little short. ECU shared their program with us, but it's
I just
Like,
emailed it to you. I
huge.
forwarded it to you.
It's just a big, huge thing. So I'm looking at that one, and I've made up a one to get the ladies started because I've taught these before. I taught in WIU all kinds of stuff. So when we did workshops, we kept it pretty simple to start people out because these ladies are coming out. Some of them have not handled money for a long time. They don't have money, So I'm doing what's very simple. It's mostly about planning.
Okay, so question, why are you reinventing the wheel when we already have organizations that do that?
Now, one of the reasons is because our ladies, a lot of them are not in a position to be going to school or going into classes, or it's not time to get them into the classes correctly. Like, for example, if we wanted to send them to this training, we could send them to the Center for Advancement. I mean, they've got the same classes. The ECU comes in and teaches them. But if our ladies are not ready to be stable enough to go to class 2 or 3 nights a week, I mean, it's hard even getting them in. We've got in GED classes. We've got a couple of 2 in GED now, right? Yeah. But it's it's hard for them getting off work and getting there and those are the ones
So
that are
check
stable.
with junior achievement
Pardon
and
me?
see what class times they have. Junior achievement,
Okay,
because they do it as well,
okay,
and see if maybe that works a little bit better with your ladies.
okay.
And it's high school students, so they don't have to worry about someone knowing them or any of the above.
Right.
So I think that's a safer
Okay.
place for our
Thank
ladies to go.
Okay.
And the community engagement and mentorship programs. Is that what the benevolence is?
Well.
Say it again.
Speak to that one, Jessica.
Community engagement and mentorship programs?
I haven't looked at this before.
Underneath phase 2, the very last one, right before the line, community engagement and mentorship programs.
I think that's on one of my, I was aiming that at 26, but right now I was trying to figure out by 27 to have at least 3 paid positions by 27. Make sure we have the funding for 3 paid positions by 20. This is one of the things we talked about.
So because mentorships are usually volunteers.
Right.
What would you need a paid position for in that?
Oh, nothing, not in mentorship, no. I'm not talking about that part, no.
Okay, what positions are you looking to get paid?
More the administrative side. Get the administrative side some support because
Mhm.
administration in this thing is gonna blow out now. I mean, it's already starting to.
I agree.
And so, and I don't want one of those paid positions, by the way, I will not be paid. My dad, when he retired, he had to retire earlier because of my mom's health, so they went on Social Security pretty early on. And they struggled for years because my dad would not take somebody else's job once he retired, and so it's kind of ingrained in our family. So, and I'm only gonna be around so many more years to be able to do this anyway, because I'm not.
You'll be around forever. We're just gonna make you.
There you go.
That's
It's
right.
not like my daughter now.
You're gonna be like I said. I told him I was gonna taxidermy him and just. I need you to be here, honey.
Yeah.
My daughter gave me orders. I have to
Throw
be
it
there
up, one way or the other.
He's like, that's so cute, honey.
So,
I'm gonna lay you right next to me. Sorry, I can't sleep by myself. Okay, so let's see. So you're looking to have Courtney's position paid,
yes,
Jessica's position paid,
yes.
my position paid. Who else can I think of?
Well, the only other piece where we need somebody to come on board to do the volunteer director. We're gonna need, that's one of my requests on that.
Yeah.
When I said, Jessica, we need a volunteer coordinator, somebody who handles the volunteers. Because there's, the thing with new organizations, a lot of times, and when people volunteer for things, it's kind of like, I'll show up when I want to, and I'll do what I want to do, and, you know, and so, but when it gets more corporately organized, like we have to do if we're gonna survive, and that's my thing is to survive this, but to do that, we're gonna have to have more structure. We need somebody who is in charge of telling people what to do and letting them know when they're not doing it, kind of thing. I mean, we just really have to.
Holding them
we gotta-
accountable.
I don't think a volunteer coordinator should be a paid position.
Okay,
I
no,
disagree
I'm
with
not-
you on
yeah,
just that
okay.
portion. Just because I know a lot of elderly women,
Yeah.
who are in a sisterhood, who would love to do that.
Oh, goody, please.
Yeah. They love to do. The Phi Alpha sisters would love to be able to do something like that
Okay.
and do volunteer coordinators. They would be in heaven for that.
Great.
So that wouldn't be. I don't
Okay.
foresee that unless it gets to the point where they can't.
Yeah,
And then if you're looking to hire someone younger, of course it's going to have to be a paid position. But it doesn't have to be an expensive paid position. It could
No,
literally be
I
a $12
wouldn't-
an hour job,
Mhm.
and somebody would take it.
yeah.
Um,
No, and your position wasn't in my head when I did that, so that would be the third position would be yours.
Yeah, I don't think she had met you at that point.
Yeah,
Okay.
I came
no,
up
no
with-
worries, no
before
worries.
Before the kickoff.
Yes.
And this is just observations of things you know, like I said, I've seen nonprofits, I've seen them go, and even when they're, you know, look like they're fully funded forever, it doesn't always
No.
happen, and we've gotta really work on that, so.
But I do
No fun
think
as it is, Jessica, sorry.
I do think the transitional housing and job placement assistants, the job placement coordinator, would need to be a paid position.
Okay.
That needs to be someone who is very in tune with the community,
Yeah,
the resources that can get these ladies a job. I think that needs to be a paid position.
yeah, I agree with that, because, I mean, even working, with right now, we're working with Goodwill very closely, I mean, we work with them, and with Workforce, we're gonna be taking the ladies to
Yeah,
Workforce.
Workforce Solutions
It's
is
just
another.
right now, but
I
again,
know
like
the
I
crew
said,
there.
our population right now has been not so much sporadic, but it's individuals. And they come up with their own individual, for example, I've been sending out texts and things for the last week or so to people, you know, for about appointments to sit down and follow up what we've learned about them in the intakes, and we'll see how soon they get back to us, cause I won't chase them, I'm not supposed to chase them.
Mhm.
So, at any rate, I did enough of that doing WIA, having to hunt people down, so.
Mhm.
But no, I mean, we give them the opportunity, we tell them, like we do a team intake now, so that we're talking to these women, so Courtney does her part and gets the information that we need about them. And Peggy goes over what their benevolence is, what do they need things right now, what do you need now, or what do you see coming up? And then I talk to them about, you know, what their employment was to be like, and or if they wanna go to school, things like that, and we give them the information, they've got our cards. And, you know, I'll follow up with them, you know, in another week or so, give them a week or so to think about it, but after that, once I make that second follow-up, then I just, you know, it's on them. Because again, we're trying
And
to teach
the
them
good
independence.
The good thing about that is we can get that paid for, that salary paid for, through United Way, if we do someone under the age of 21.
Do it.
It has to be between the age of 18 and 21,
Okay,
and I can get that position paid for.
What position
okay,
is
I
that?
just have a question about that.
The transitional housing and job placement assistant, which would pretty much be job placement coordinator, I think would be the job
Yeah,
title.
probably the title.
Mhm.
Tell me, what coordinator?
Job placement coordinator.
Cause I mean, I do career counseling with them, they'll sit down and do it, and you get them tied down to get it done.
Yeah.
A lot of the women are in such a position right now, this is why I've been working on how to do the Money Matters classes, because there's so many of them in different positions available so many different times, and they're in such transition when we are talking to them now. The women we're talking with are not in our housing Some of them are getting more stable as they go, but a lot of times when we first meet them, they don't know where the heck they're going or what the heck they're doing. So
Now, Quentin at Citizen Bank would actually come and do that course for you and sign
Right.
them up and give them a debit card and do all of that in that one meeting.
yeah, and ECU.
He's
did the same
fantastic.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and do they come out and do that?
ECU, yeah, they actually, yeah, they gave me the curriculum. I was very fortunate when I talked with them. They gave me the curriculum to use because of the situation our ladies are in.
No, okay, see, that's what we're trying to get away from. It shouldn't be you doing the curriculum. It should be, that's their specialty. They need to do it. We're giving them the business of giving them a client. They need to take care of that. So if ECU's not doing it, I know Quentin at Citizens Bank will.
Okay, well, I imagine ECU would, but whatever, I mean, again, you gotta remember, I'm coming into this from, having retired 5 years ago.
Yes.
From workforce, so.
Now, unless you want to do it, so that's a very different story,
Well,
but you
I mean,
shouldn't be forced
yeah.
to.
Again, when I came on board, there were 12 of us. The first meeting I went to, there were 12 of us.
Yeah.
And I came on board to see if I could help with workforce, because, I mean, I do career plan, I do the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've done it for years. And
Because the only thing is,
I don't know the market.
these organizations are already out there.
Right,
So we don't need to be using our manpower
thank you.
for something that's already out there.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
No, do not. Yeah, definitely
That's
not.
exactly what I'm saying.
And if you're giving them business, hey, part of me giving you this business is you're
Yeah.
going to need to teach them this course.
You contribute.
Yeah, because it should not be yes. Because she can be very well utilized to help write grants.
Elsewhere.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yes.
Get to work.
Yes. Now, Ms. Courtney, I want to hear from you because you play an important role here. So tell me what you think, see, hear, you like, you don't like.
I'm just trying to process it all. It's a lot.
It is a lot. I
Um,
mean, there's a lot that goes into having a nonprofit, a successful nonprofit.
yeah, so, what was the question? What do you want to hear? I'm
Just
sorry.
tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what you're thinking, what you're liking, what you're hearing. You're not liking what you're hearing. What would you change?
No, I think it all sounds really good. I like it. We've all been all about getting organized, and to have that help is awesome. Yeah, I'm going in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I need to get serious about getting my social work license.
I have the study material if you need it.
Well, that'd be great. I've tested before, but.
Are you a bachelor's or a master's?
Bachelor's.
Okay, I have the study material for you.
Master's, I attempted that, and that was not the right place for me.
Did you go to WT?
No, I was accepted into Tulane
Oh yeah.
and learned very quickly that was not.
I got my degree in 2012, social work. I'm a bachelor's, but I'm going back in August to do my master's. I was supposed to go this past August, but Mario got sick, so I pulled back. But I'm going all the way to LCSW just because I want to counsel.
Well, master's wasn't even in my plan actually, but neither was a bachelor's. But God said no.
Yeah.
So I would like to go to get my master's, but I can't because if I went to Tulane, that's mess things up. So that's not an option for me right now.
Okay.
But I'm just feeling like I need to have that just to benefit the ministry. I mean, is that?
Well, I mean, you can always. I mean, a degree is not important. I mean, as far as this position, because you're already doing it. So I don't know exactly what your role is, other than pretty much executive assistant, right?
Whatever she wants me to do.
I'm thinking that's what it is.
She's basically my administrative person. I mean, because
Okay,
you know,
so you-
with my counseling
Mm-hmm.
that I have, I mean, I'm typically counseling between 15 and 20 women at a time,
Got it.
and I'm also in charge of the volunteers being discipled and all of that other kind of stuff.
Okay, so I figured you were the
I'm working.
executive assistant.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, getting a degree, I don't think is important, unless you just want to. But
Well,
you don't
that
need it
is-
for this.
I just feel like that's just a personal goal of mine. I feel
Right.
like that would help the ministry saying, oh, we've got a licensed social worker on,
On
you know.
on stuff.
But that'll be me. That's what I am. So you're okay.
Okay.
Unless you just wanted to do maybe business, or if you want to go to social work. Hey, we don't have enough social workers, so I'm just saying.
That's what my degree is social
Yeah.
work.
I'm just saying it's business-wise, future-wise, social work is not a good place to be. I don't know what it'll look like 8 years from now, but right now, it is not going to be for the next 4 years. So at least you have 4 years to think about it before you decide to go back, because I wouldn't go into it in the next 4 years. Yeah, if I was doing just social work, there's no way I'd go get it, but I'm going counseling, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, no, the resources are not there. They're not, which is tough because they do a really good job. And mine was medical social worker. That's what I was before. I worked at Northwest. Never wanted to do CPS or any of that, so that's just not for me. And then I switched it because, switched over because the pay is not any good. So I switched over to nonprofit, and that's what you're doing now. So you're already ahead of the game. Yep.
So yeah, they're just getting organized. I'm really down for that, and I already talked to Jessica, but yeah, the tiny houses is great. Yeah, that's something, but I also think a goal needs to be for the kids, something for the kids or youth, whatever you want to call it.
Like what?
I think I see it like, I don't think there's counseling. I think we've talked with people. There's not a whole lot as far as like.
There are not a lot of counselors, pediatric counselors here,
There's
and
not.
everybody is booked.
For
You're
this
looking like 8 months.
And when kids are going through the domestic violence,
Yeah.
they need it. They
Yeah.
need help.
What happened
And
to
I
the lady in
have-
Canyon that was going to do that at Christmas that we talked to?
That's not what she portrayed to me. What
No.
she was focusing in on is ADHD and those with learning disabilities and all of that kind of stuff.
Okay, so let's
Not
pivot.
It's a
necessarily.
different
Let's
ballgame.
pivot on that, and let's do equine therapy. I can get us a grant
Wonderful.
to
That would be
service the
wonderful.
kids for equine therapy. I think that's way more beneficial than any counselor is going to do.
It really is
Yeah,
beneficial.
it
It's
is.
amazing.
I think that will be the best thing for them. It allows them to get out their aggression. It allows them to get out. It allows them to be one-on-one. I think it's just a way better therapy session for a child
Yeah.
than anything else.
And it helps
So
them get out of
so
their
who
head.
would provide that equine?
I will write a grant for that, and Dove Creek will provide it.
Okay.
I already have a relationship with them, so she'll be over the moon to be able to do that.
Great.
And then she has coaches. So she's got 6 coaches right now. I think she just licensed 3 more. So depending on how many kids we have, we can write a grant to where we can send them once a week. Because you can't bombard a kid either. That kind of therapy is a lot. It's a lot. So I think once a week would be okay. And part of therapy is brushing, bathing, mucking, watering, feeding.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it is part of therapy, but it is.
And who's
it
that
is.
with?
Dove Creek
Dove
with
Creek.
Lori.
I
Mhm.
love Dove Creek. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
'Cause
helps
Allie will
them
be
get
all over
out of
that.
their head. You know, they get this out there, and then it
Horses
heals.
just
It's
have
so
a
healing.
crazy way to get that
It
all
really
out
is,
of
and-
you.
and
It's
they need
insane. I love that portion of it. I loved.
I think
And the
that's
land
great.
is just beautiful. It's beautiful. And then they do
It
painting with a
is.
horse. So you paint a horse, and then you paint a horseshoe. So they have different events that they do.
Yeah, they have a lot of different.
They have a lot of things. So it's not just them doing therapy, but it's paint a horse.
Yeah.
You know, and
It
every
doesn't
kid
seem
likes
like
that.
therapy, but
Yeah,
it
it
is.
doesn't, but it's really good therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I walked around with my shoulders like this forever. I didn't even know I walked around with my shoulders like this.
Yeah,
I did
know.
therapy, and I'm like, what? My shoulders go down?
You can tell when somebody's
Yeah.
stressed because their shoulders are
I
up high.
never noticed it. Lori was the one's like, Nancy.
Get those
And I was like,
shoulders
what? I carry all my stress on my shoulders.
down.
I would have never.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not an animal person. I'm just not. My dog, poor dog, he's my husband's.
But you don't have to love horses to
Yeah,
do it.
no,
That's
I was
the thing,
afraid
you're
of
not gonna
them.
Be riding them, and they're big, they're
Yes.
scary, but you.
I was
they're
afraid
so
of
good
them,
at
but
it,
Roscoe just found a way, and the horse will find you. It'll
Yeah.
find you.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
Yeah.
I can rest that horse. And it's like, and he just came right at me like, yes, you are.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
it's
and Lori goes,
big.
that's your horse. So now to this day, Roscoe's my horse.
Yeah. But they're
So-
very good at working with you, though.
They are.
don't just leave you on your own
No,
to do your
they
thing.
have some great,
It's
great
very
coaches.
organized.
And Sarah was supposed to be there to be the social worker to do more therapy, but she went and opened up her own.
Yeah.
So so she's not there anymore. But I think that's a fantastic pivot. Like I said again, we need to focus on the tiny houses first, and then go down from there. so that we don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of
That's
resources in
right.
Amarillo, and we just need to,
That's
Delegate.
Right. That's right.
yeah, delegate. It's a lot easier. Don't take it all on yourself. It's a lot. You will never have any free time. Amarillo's a troubled place.
3 times the national average.
Yes, Amarillo's a troubled place. So yeah, I know I can get a grant to do that. Even with Amarillo Area Foundation, I can get a Catalyst grant to pay for that.
Wow. That'd be great.
I just need logistics. I need to know how many kids do we have in their intake. What are their needs?
You mean psychologically,
Mhm.
physically?
Why do
Spiritually.
we need the counseling? I need to prove why they need it.
Oh, PTSD if nothing else.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking
Yeah.
kids that, get off the autism scale, don't worry about ADHD.
Right?
Just get out
Yes.
there and PTSD.
Well, and I'm
That's-
pretty sure one of the biggest things is going to be a lot of the kids who see this grow
Yes.
up to be abusers themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we need to stop it now.
Yeah.
Right,
Stop it.
so that's the key there is to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because a lot of no one gets therapy.
Mhm.
Life just goes on.
Well, especially
So-
when you're raised that way and it's normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
You don't
and we
even
need
see it as being
we need to change the
an
stigma
issue.
of that,
Yeah.
and that's a good
Yeah.
stat. I need statistics of how many children who see abuse grow up to be abusers themselves.
1 in 10.
1 in 10, yeah.
That's a big
Is that what Robert Crawford said? Because
So I
he
need
his-
the
his
record of that
research too.
stats. I need to know where we
Oh,
found
I've
that.
got a whole list of stats, but
Okay.
over 15 million children experience it at least
And I'm
once.
gonna need those stats
And it,
for the grants.
oh,
Send it to me,
that's cool.
please. Yes,
Yep.
because that will help me write my grants.
Okay.
Is that information?
Okay, so we
Is that
have. Oh, that's okay. Jessica's gonna send it to me.
Well, I was just thinking, like, I thought the stuff we had, what I had, was that I had all that on here already for you.
Oh, nice. That'd be great.
I don't have any.
Yeah, I've got a lot of statistics on the brochures
Awesome.
and flyers.
Yeah, there's some.
Thank you.
on that.
And on
There.
the bigger one,
Do you have
There's-
a big one with you? I didn't
do you only
bring
have
mine.
one left? Because we haven't printed
some.
those in
We
a
have
long
several
time.
bigger-
I still have the box.
Okay. Because I think, if I remember correctly, that one's got quite a few stats on it too.
Is that,
Or does it?
that one's got some stats right here, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay, now
There's no
on
stats.
another note, what kind of pay would you be looking for, Courtney?
That is not even anything I've thought about.
Yeah, we'll start thinking about it because that's the next stage. So I need to know what kind of salary you're looking for. Do you charge for your Bible counseling?
No.
So everything's free. Okay. I know
Everything's
what your
run by the
salary needs to
ministry.
be, so you're good.
Huh?
I know what your salary needs to be, so you're good.
Okay.
In a nonprofit world, because I'm sure it's not what you would like, but in a nonprofit world.
Mhm.
Miss Karen,
Yes,
because you'd be pretty much secondhand to me.
okay. I'm
Um,
gonna change my title again.
Second hand.
You know how I am
Yeah,
about
because
titles. I don't care what
she
your
would
title
be 100%
is.
my backup because what I can't handle when I'm looking at the big numbers and getting the tiny houses and all that, somebody has to do the back end of what development is, and that would be you.
Okay, you just have to show me how you want it done.
Okay. And I'm easygoing. You're gonna love me. I'm like, as long as it gets done, and I have a template for everything. It's like, here you go. There's your template. Just yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm very easygoing. Miss Peggy,
Yes.
because this is pretty much your admin, right? Besides Angela and Lindy.
That's the A team right
We're
there.
the A team.
Okay.
That's three.
So they're the admin team.
Okay.
And so and then Lindy and Angela are just
So to
about
be
scraping the
realistic,
money however they can.
this is your paid right here. Realistically, that's it. Everything else is volunteer positions.
Okay.
Until we grow. When we grow, then Angela and Lindy would be able to get a salary. When we get to that point. I don't see it happening before 3 years.
Well, what I've said from the get-go is that nobody gets a salary until the tiny house village is built. So, but I mean, if the Lord if the Lord provides, then by all means.
It could
So-
be a different funding stream though. is what she's
It can
saying.
actually
Well,
be a fundraiser.
and that's what I'm saying is
Yeah,
that
because-
but
yeah.
if the Lord provides,
Yeah,
you know,
because
then
that
can
funding
change.
stream would be different, it would be set aside for salaries and so forth, because a lot of times when you look at those things, one of the things they're gonna look at is if you don't have paid positions, are you really established, you know, that kind of thing. That's why I keep saying, this is our third year, this is the critical year, this is where we're gonna start looking.
And another thing is,
Yeah.
have to be diverse. So you've got Latinas, you've got, you know, you got the Caucasians, the white, the Latino. You need Black, you need Asian. So you need to bring people on the board who are of different nationalities. That is another thing foundations look for.
Yeah.
It is. So you need to be talking to Cindy and Bill and let them know this is important and who do they trust in the mission, in the ministry, to be a part of this. Because realistically speaking, your 5 board members are not going to be enough. If it grows the way we want it to grow, it is not going to be enough. You're going to need at least 12 board members. And I wouldn't do any more than that. I would cap it at 12. 8 is good. Okay, love you. No, I'm good, thank you. Between 8 and 12. I wouldn't go any more than 12. But in order to be successful, the board needs to take on some of the gala stuff. So in all reality, the board should be the one inviting the heavy hitters. That's usually how it works.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think who are members or Grace that are business owners. But we want them to be kind. We want them to be true to the mission, true to Grace,
Yeah,
not just there because it looks good.
yeah, that's the thing you have to watch for.
Yes.
Selma is not from Grace, she doesn't go to Grace, but she's
Thelma is
got
not from Grace.
She's
Yeah,
got
it doesn't have to
good
be.
background in the community though, and things, because one of the things that we are finding is we're gonna have to expand and let other churches in on what we're doing and that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely.
Well-
Because you're going to get referrals.
I'm open.
So I was just thinking, she.
I know
might be somebody
Hillside
to
will.
consider for the board though, cause you know how bright she is already, I mean.
Oh,
you can
she's
tell.
brilliant.
Yeah, so, and she's already been doing the counseling and things over there too, so. No, she just popped in my head when she talked about.
No, she goes to Emerald Fellowship.
Yes,
And I don't know if Sharon Miner, it would be a conflict of interest with her because she is the development director for Martha's Home. I don't know because they kind of do the same thing, although we would be an extension. So their people will eventually could be coming to.
it would go the other way,
Well, because they don't have enough space.
right,
No,
that's the
they
thing,
don't.
but,
So they'd have to be a partnership anyways.
right, but
I just don't know. I don't know
Okay.
what her bylaws are. So I don't.
Unless I'm off on the idea of what the tiny homes are for, I thought that, I mean, my operation has been that this is for women coming out of domestic violence, have a safe place to be.
Right.
It is not Martha's Home, it's not, they would, I mean, if anything, it would transition to a place like Martha's Home, and if we do our program the way it's set up to be done, what we're talking about doing, then they will not need to go into a transitional housing, we'll get them in 6 months ready.
To be able to
Yeah.
get their own
I mean,
and be
because
living.
because
Yeah.
But we'd
I
get
can see that.
referrals from Martha's Home, right?
we actually do.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that you would think you would.
Because
So
they
it'd
have
still be a
waiting
partnership.
list.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have a long waiting list.
And so, but here's the long-term plan is building the tiny house village out of the property that we just bought,
Mhm.
and then in town have another property for those that are no longer in crisis that just need a few months to get on their feet.
Love it.
And so, but yeah, so
Okay.
after this tiny house village is built, then there's a secondary tiny house village that needs to be built for a phase 2.
Okay.
You know, so once they're out of crisis, then they can actually move back into the city and
And I think this is a great time to hit Proffer.
to hit what?
Proffer.
Proffer?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of it.
They're right across from Baptist St. Anthony's.
Mhm.
It's the big O black
Oh, yeah.
with glass building.
Yeah.
They do beauty injections.
They do, yeah.
vaginal rejuvenation. They do
Excellent.
all that fun stuff, and
All of that
and
stuff.
yes, all the beautification stuff
Yeah.
for women. Have a lot of
I
clientele.
could use a little bit of that.
Right? I'm like, I can't get myself
Boy,
to do
me
Botox.
too.
I was like, I can't get myself to do Botox. But I think we need to have a conversation with them about coming on board with this. A lot of money there. And they know the right people. Let me call Pam. I cannot ever remember her last name. Her husband is a retired surgeon. She's fantastic. And her group of women, I think, would be great to be on the committee for the gala.
Okay.
She's very sweet. Yeah. My only problem that I have is that I am helping 2 other organizations get to their goals. Those are paid positions.
Who are you with?
Oh my gosh. I can't remember the name of the organization for the Belize homes, but the orphanage. Wait,
Okay.
in her group. They're new too. I cannot remember. Something age. I can't remember what it is. And then my cousin in Kansas wants me to help him get a homestead started. So I will be traveling to Kansas to help him do some of that stuff. Doing a nonprofit consultant with him. So I would be able to dedicate maybe 2 days a week to this, but I'm good at what I do, thank goodness. 2 days is all I need. I could get the grants written, submitted. On my end, there's a lot of waiting. Because we don't have any grants coming in March. Normally, I would have been full force in October, November, December, full force. And then January, February, March, I don't have a lot to do other than getting prepared, strategic planning, those kind of things. And then the grants start coming in. And then it's applying and reporting and all that. And after March, forget it. It's all she wrote. Because after then on, it's just every quarter there's grants. So I don't know. I'm like, it's a full-time job to be new. It is. It's just, unfortunately, I have to work. I'm at the point I have to get a paycheck.
Unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately. I'm not there yet. Once we retire, then it's a whole different ballgame. But
Yeah.
before then, but I think once I get what I need on my end, it will be fine.
Okay.
Because you need grants coming in.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the first thing.
Yeah.
Because everything else, you don't have a fundraiser till October. And, I mean, the car show in June, but it's not a big amount of money. If you make $2,500, there'll be a lot.
Really?
Yes. And I'm just one of those, I have to tell you right here while we're here, I am not a big proponent of small money. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy, it's a waste of time. Now, I do agree with it right now because you're new. That would be great. But if it's going to cost us money to do it, no.
And that's why we hired you.
If it's going to cost you money to do it, no.
Even though we're not paid.
Right? I love my church.
But it's